毛孟靜議員。
Thank you. I quite agree that you've completely failed to answer the three previous questions. So you can't use history to address questions of fairness, on fairness. But then I'm not going to repeat the question because I'm just going to get your diplomatic and bureaucratic answer once again. Never mind. I do have a separate question. Now, many Hong Kong parents would want to send their children to ESF schools, international schools, for a Western-style English language-oriented education. That, in effect as well, is a vote of no confidence on the local education system, under which our English language teaching has proved quite a failure. So it's obvious from the declining level of proficiency. Now, would your Bureau actually consider revamping our English teaching policy, approach, everything you can do to help ease the situation? Forget about the unpleasant associations, if not nasty associations, about nomination rights, debentures, and so on. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. Thank you, Councillor, for the question. There are two parts on the subject. The first part relates to the English standard. Let me address that firstly. The scholar, the committee language, has already launched two pilot studies trying to review and find ways to improve the English teaching exercise. I personally attend a couple of the events they organized recently as a pilot to look at the activities-based learning as a subject, a living English type. And those pilots will be coming about pretty soon with the final report to be produced by the scholar. And then with that in mind, we look forward to further ways of improving the teaching and learning on the language of English. So that's the first part. Second part, if you look at in terms of the some parents sending their kids to the international schools, honestly speaking, if you look at what's happening in Singapore and other places as well, we do have local parents also sending their kids to the international schools, and that's why the international schools always a universal issue. And this is another way to show the diversity the parents would be able to take. I do recognize that there's always a comparison. If you look at the IB and other perspective, actually the new academic structure, the DSE, are some of the ways to try to improve the way of learning, diversity, as well as self-driven type of a learning process. So this would be the very much the first one. The second one, let me come back to the one in terms of members mentioning about the subject of privilege. Let me reassure you, one of the major reasons, as we understand from the ESF, is that they do need the capital to launch certain expansion and repair and maintenance work for the schools. For that reason, they do need that 150 slots of the 500,000 sort of the program in order to build that particular capital. One of the reasons for that is that they are responsible for their own self-financing and self-balancing and to keep the financial health of the ESL. Thank you, Chairman.